be talking about your identity, which is your superpower. To begin with, I would like to ask you something. What is your identity? Your identity is who you are, the way you think about yourself, and the characteristics that define you. Your identity develops through your life's experiences and influences. Do you identify as a rule breaker or a conformist? Do you identify as a hard worker or a happy-go-lucky type of person? These are all parts of your identity. One thing I've observed about people is that some people try and change their identity just to fit in, while others refuse to change their identity no matter what. The need to fit in is a natural human instinct, even though some people value it more than others. We all want to fit in, to belong, and depending on who we're with and where we are, we present slightly different versions of ourselves. Take Michael Jackson. Some people say that he bleached his skin because he had a skin disease, but others say he bleached his skin because he wanted to fit in with the European crowd. On the other hand, think about Malala Yousafzai. She refused to change her identity, even though the Taliban shot her. She remained unmoved and continued to fight for her beliefs. And she got the Nobel Peace Prize for it. But what did she get out of her experience? She developed a stronger identity. Whenever I feel like parts of my identity might affect my goals in life, I go back to thinking about Malala. The Taliban closed girls' schools all because of their gender identity. And on the morning of October 9th, 2012, Malala was shot by the Taliban, all because she spoke up about women's education. But look at her now. She is one of the world's most respected activists. Right now, she is in Oxford University. But whenever you see her, she is always proudly wearing her traditional dress, and she hasn't changed her manner of doing things. My point here is that you shouldn't change your identity unless you consciously decide to. Where you come from is another huge aspect of your identity. For example, my family is ethnically from India, but for 3 generations we have lived in Zimbabwe, which is in southern Africa. This means that I can speak basic Gujarati, which is the language of my ancestors, but I also learn Arabic and French. But I still consider my mother tongue as English. And one of my favorite foods is Arabic bread and hummus. We often find that the things we enjoy doing will contribute most to creating our identity. For example, I'm creative, and I know this because whenever I am in art lessons, I enjoy them thoroughly. Your identity can also change through outside influences. For example, if you have a sibling, you'll know that you're always competing to be the best. This brings out the confidence and competitiveness in your identity. But how do you discover your identity? Try and find what you're good at and what you're bad at. It takes trial and error, but don't give up. Your strengths and weaknesses are a huge part of finding yourself. Know what you are, not what you want to be. I know you have an idea about who you want to be in your head, but it's crucial for you to know who you are right now. Ask people. If you want to find your identity, ask people. For example, what strengths do I have, and what weaknesses do you think I need to work on? Your identity is like your heart. It beats inside of you. If you don't have one, you're not alive. But don't start to see it as an obstacle. Your identity is your biggest asset. Your identity is your superpower, and you should never be afraid to show it. Thank you.